Alright guys, welcome to another video. So the first thing I do is I'll just explain a couple updates. First thing, I should now be able to make a lot more videos since I'm pretty much done with work at this moment. Also, update for the boot story for the 0 people that care. It actually turns out I was pretty much getting massively pranked by my mom because we went to go do pumpkins on a day and it was pretty cold. So she was like, "Hey, you should wear these boots that we've had." I'm like, "What?" And so I go down, I get the boots, and they're freaking good boots. And I'm like, "What the heck? How come I haven't known of this?" And she's like, "Oh, I told you earlier, but you didn't want them." And so like, "The heck, man? Like you could have told me when I was looking like to buy boots, but it's all good." All right, so you might be like, "All right, well, what are you gonna do now after such an amazing video before?" Well, I'm gonna do what every single YouTuber does and just talk about childhood stories. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is when I was like a little tiny baby. I think I was about 3, so I don't remember this. I've just heard it like plenty of times from my dad. And so the story goes, he was watching me, by himself or something one day, and he had just given me chicken nuggets to eat. And so, like after a while, he just hears me choking, and he's like, "Uh oh." And so he like, pats on my back, like over the sink. And the next thing he knows, here I am spitting out 4 whole chicken nuggets, man. Like, think like a little like baby size. Actually, I was probably, I don't know, like think like a 3-year old just choking on 4 freaking chicken nuggets. And he was like, "What the heck, bro? Why can't you just eat them normally?" And that's really the entire story. And after hearing such a riveting tale, you might be like, "How are you going to tell a story that'll even compare to it?" I'll tell you the secret. I'll just tell a story for when I was older. So, in about 3rd or 4th grade, I was at recess, with my friends. From what I remember, I was just with my one, like, good friend that I had, some other random kid, and then this one girl that was in our friend group. And so, here we were, just chilling. And for some reason, like, I guess we didn't like this kid or something, but we just start like dragging him across like the grass. And you were like, "Wow, you're such a bully." Yeah, I guess that's kind of fair, but I was nice most of the time. I was a pretty good kid. But so there was this one girl that was like, "Hey, stop pulling him," which is very fair. You're just just some random kid getting like dragged across the freaking playground. But we're like, "Oh, what are you, his girlfriend?" And then she went and told the principal, that freaking bumhead. All right, so he was on the ground, obviously, like trying to get away from us because we're just dragging. All right, I wasn't dragging him. All right, I was just watching my friends drag him. All right, the other, actually, never mind. There must have been 4 people. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. There was just a couple other people. I wasn't dragging. I was just a witness. And so the principal comes over, and then the one girl was like, "Oh, I got kicked in the stomach. And then she just goes to the nurse, scotching like, "What the frick, bro?" Like, even in 4th grade, I was like, "What the heck, man? You just like ditched us." And then my one friend, he was like, "What? I was dragging him either." And dude, he was dragging him. And freaking the principal's like, "All right, guys, I want you to look and just look at like the 5th graders playing football and see how many rules they broke." You know, freaking dude, like nobody wants to watch kids and point out rules that they broke. And you're like, "Oh, they tackled someone. That's against the rules." And that was like it for like the next 20 minutes. I mean, didn't really get in trouble after the story. Nothing crazy happened. I don't know what happened to the kid. I don't remember him later or anything. But that's the rest of the story. Now, I'm gonna admit this next story isn't mine. You might be like, "Hey, you're supposed to tell stories out of here." It doesn't matter, dude. I could say the story was mine, and nobody would know, man. And so, the story goes, my friend, he was in 5th or 6th grade, and so he did this special thing where, like, last hour they'd get bused to the elementary school, and then they do these puzzles like, oh, the man in the blue house likes tea, and the green house is next to the person who likes soda, or something along the lines of that. But basically, it was just some puzzles I did. He said that he made good friends there, and that's good. And so the story goes, he went to history class after he came back, and there's 15 minutes left of school. I think they were learning something Greek history or something like that. And the teacher was like teaching some not thing, doesn't even matter. And so he goes up to the teacher, is like, hey, I can't understand this, he's basically in tears. And the teacher says, one second, let me find the quote. I wrote it down. She said, once the train of tears and I'm so sorry will leave the station and you'll be left all alone. She said something along the lines of that, very similar. And so he said, like, as a 6-year-old, he was like, what the heck, man? And he actually used that as motivation, so I guess it turned out as a good story in the end. And it didn't turn about, like, trying to, like, flex on the teacher, like, just because I didn't get this freaking not thing done doesn't mean that I can't have a good life. And so you might be like, oh, must have been the end of the story. Wrong. There's actually still a bit left to the story, nothing crazy. But he sees the teacher later. She doesn't remember telling him that, so it means that she, like, told her students that, or she just didn't remember it for some reason. Alright, now it's the actual end of story. I could turn it into some Darman thing. Teacher tells student this and immediately regrets it, but that's just, end of the story. Nothing crazy happens. Unlike this next story, nah, I'm just kidding. It's a pretty normal story. But so when I was younger, we visited this one place. It's basically just like cabin area, I guess. And so my grandma and grandpa, they were with us. And they had like their own cabin and stuff. And so they had popsicles, and I remember I went, and so I grabbed a popsicle, and then I quickly ran out. I guess like had that I grabbed a popsicle or something dumb like that. But when I had ran out, didn't realize that the screen door was out, and so I just kind of like bounced off the screen door and knocked it down, or I think I might have gone through it, and I just fell on the ground. But I remember I was just like eating my popsicle, watching my dad and grandpa fix the door, which is kind of funny to think about now. Since I started with a bullying story, I gotta end with a bullying story. In 6th grade, I was a little, like, tiny little baby boy. And this one kid just, like, comes up to me in PE class and he's like, what's up, elephant ears? And so, actually now I still have it, but my ears go out more than, like, the average person. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. And then he said something else dumb, and I was like, yeah, that's also true. And he just realized that I didn't care about what he said, and he just never tried to do anything about it again, I guess. After having it ended with such a great story, I'm gonna just end the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. And yeah, I should be making more soon, and see you guys later. Watch it all end, just hold on tight. Wake up in my arms on the other side. Just think of me when you close your eyes. Close your eyes, no, nothing about you. Feeling like ice when you touch me. Let's go.